Hi, I am Palak Negi and this is my internship project for Oasis Infobyte under the web development. This is my task number 1, which is a calculator. So I built a calculator using HTML, CSS and JavaScript. In this video, I am going to explain my code and how it works. For that, let me open my VS Code, and here is my task 1, which is a calculator. These are the files that I have made. There is index.html and function.js, styles.css and also a readme file. So let's start with the basic structure, which is index.html. In index.html you can see here is the basic documentation of HTML, and this is head section, and in the head section I have my title, name, calculator, and I also linked a style.css file here, which is for styling of this web page. And then comes to the body. Inside the body I have a header section that contains a button and a heading. This button is for switching between dark mode and light mode. Here you can see like this. And the heading simply displays the title. And then the main section. Inside the main section, there is an input element with the ID display. This is where all the numbers and result will be shown. Here you can see the display. This is our input display. And below that I have a div with class key that contains all the calculator button like numbers, operators and delete button, decimal and equals. Okay, each button uses on click attribute to call a JavaScript function. For example, append 4, 5, 6 plus, and then below that we have a footer, and after the footer I have linked my function.js also. Now let's go to the CSS file. So in the CSS, I start by setting my box size to border box, and then for body we give some styling like background color, also its fonts family and a transition for switching between the theme. And as I created light theme as well, so this is the CSS for my light theme. And then for header I use display flags so that I can keep the toggle button and the heading in the same line, and some other styling, align item and justify content to keep my heading in the center. And this is for heading. And for toggle button I gave it a border radius of 50% so that I can make it a rounded. Also I change cursor to the pointer and keep display flags and align item, justify content to keep it in center of my page. And when we hover over the button, it will change its color into gray like this. And same for the light theme. This styling is for my calculator part. My calculator has a border radius that makes its corner rounded, also a box shadow, and then this styling is for display, keys, button, and that's it for CSS. Now let's move to the function.js, and this is the JavaScript file where all the functions are created. So first I select my display using .get element by id, and then I select my toggle button using query selector. And then I add an event listener to the toggle button that runs the toggle mode function. Here are here are the main functions. First is append value. This function simply adds the click number to the display. Like whenever I click into any key, it will add a number to my display like this. And then comes to the clear display. So this clears the entire display when we click to the clear. And then the backspace function, this removes the last character from the display. Like if I click any wrong number, then I can remove it easily by pressing this delete. And then we have main logic of our calculator. So in that function, first I replace the divide sign and the multiple sign to slash and asterisk, because JavaScript use those for division and multiplication. And then I use evaluate the expression to show the result in our display. And I also use try and catch block. So if there is any error, the try and catch block will catch it. Below that there is a toggle mode function. This is for switching between light and dark mode. And it also switch button icons, sun to moon. So that's all for this project. Now let's see how it actually works. So let's remove it first. And now if I click any number like 7 into 5 and then I click the equals button, it calculates it and give me the correct result. 7 5s are 35. And I don't want it anymore, so I can just clear it. Or if I mistakenly add one extra number, so I can remove the last one from this delete button. And I can also click the toggle button to switch between light mode to dark mode and dark mode to light mode, which updates the background and button colors. This will also work the same. And that's all for this project. You can also find this code on my GitHub repository. Here is the GitHub link for this project. Thank you.